Hello everyone, and good afternoon. My name is Serkan Tulderya. I am one of the VOLTHA TST members, and I work for NetSia. Actually, today I am going to give some updates about the VOLTHA project and the LF broadband transition. And for the outline, so I will talk about a little bit about VOLTHA, its architecture, the key components, and we have released a new version. And I will also talk about a little bit about the deployments. So I will request some help from Manuel to talk about this transition to the Linux Foundation broadband. And I will talk about the collaboration, what we have done with the BBF community. And my last topic will be how to get involved to the project. So first, for who don't know about what is VOLTHA, it stands for Virtual Reality Hardware Abstraction. It's a proven and successful working telco open source solution. And it has a collaborative development environment which operators and vendors are working together. Actually, operators are giving the requirements to the community, and community tries to implement those requirements. The most importantly, VOLTHA project has its active CI/CD pipeline. So every commit you have made to the code base, it's continuously tested with the real hardware. Actually, it also has some scale tests in this very same CI/CD pipeline. It's a small but vibrant ecosystem, I can say. But it can successfully innovate a key telco market segment. If you look at the some of the key components of the VOLTHA architecture, it has a common control management for the PON networks. It supports white box royalties, as well as vendor-specific royalties with the help of adapters. So you can have chase-based royalties with the help of different royalty adapters. But the current open source adapter is this open royalty adapter, which works with the white box royalties. It supports the multi-vendor PON systems with its open OMCI. We have an ONU adapter here, and this ONU adapter is proven to work with many ONUs and the DPU models currently. And with the operator requirements, we have now working workflows with Turkish Telecom, Deutsche Telekom, TIM, and AT&T. And we have the DMI layer here. It's just an interface. There is no working software for that one, but we can think it's kind of a specification. So all of these components runs as a microservices architecture with the help of VOLTHA stacks, and it is tested for tens of thousands of ONUs. And it is these components, all of the components here are Golang based. And recently, we replaced this ONOS SDN controller with a new controller. It is also a Go based, and it's more performant than the ONOS. And it will be released in the new VOLTHA release. So just last month, we have the 2.12 release. So it brings some robustness and device management enhancements, and also additional subscriber profiles. So these are also given by the operator requirements. There are some enhanced error handling and recovery, better logging alarms and attributes received from the OLTs. And the most importantly, we had some instabilization with our test pipeline. This release also, we fix these infrastructure problems. So as I said, VOLTHA works in the production. It's the live deployment in Deutsche Telekom network. And in Turk Telekom, it's already serves thousands of subscribers. There are also some lab trials with different operators. Reliance Jio is one of them. Manuel, if you can help me on this slide. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Manuel Paul here from Deutsche Telekom, and with his very stylish magenta sneakers, if you can't see him from down there. But he doesn't know how to use a microphone. But no, just teasing. No.
Maybe it just says to test my voice without microphone.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, hello everybody. Just taking the chance since there's just this week, like really hot off the press, the formation of the new board. And so I'm taking the chance since I'm having the pleasure together with Francisco and Björn, Björn, to be on the board of the newly founded fund, or the newly established governing board for the Linux Foundation Broadband Fund. So just backing up a bit on this. So the move to the Linux Foundation Broadband has taken place by beginning of this year. Actually, it took effect in the 1st of February. And so that means that there's a new umbrella now for the VOLTHA project, and that is the Linux Foundation Broadband. And what that is actually is, it is a Linux Foundation project. So it ties into the larger ecosystem at the Linux Foundation and offers also a broader opportunity for collaboration there across projects that are running at Linux Foundation, both in the networking as well as on the connected home and edge. And so from the perspective of seeing Linux Foundation as a very experienced and well-established community to host mature projects, the ONF has taken a decision to move their projects, the 3 areas that they had established and that have evolved over the time, from the time where Hans-Jörg was talking, right? This is broadband. There is the mobile projects and P4. So those are now at Linux Foundation and are now evolving separately with greater independence in this community-led framework. And so from the perspective of the umbrella, this has changed. But there is the established VOLTHA technical steering team. So on the project level, nothing changes and it continues straight and seamless. So meaning actually that for the resourcing and everything that goes around that, the new board has taken on, and on the project execution, everything is pretty much as it is. Having said that also extends into the collaboration with Broadband Forum. So no change actually on the in the machine room.
BSC member, yeah.
Exactly, and so with that, back to you, Serkan. Thanks for this opportunity.
Thank you, Manuel.
Thanks for adding that in.
So what we have done with the BBF, so we really wanted to have the collaboration with the BBF. So the motivations behind this, because the service providers requires their solution underwritten with well-established standards. So service providers want to prevent their investments. Also, they want to ensure that a wide range of community of suppliers to avoid vendor lock-in. And so the segregated SDN solutions, network solutions, open source or not, they are no different actually. And the VOLTHA community embraces this requirement as a need. And with the transition to Linux Foundation, the VOLTHA community still continue and deepen the collaboration with BBF. supported by mutual members and of course based on the market demand. So we see there's a synergy in aligning standards and working open source code, and we request all interested parties to participate in this joint effort. I forgot to say the collaboration between the BBF and VOLTHA community started back in 2022 with the Cloud CO demo project. And recently, actually last year, we started to understand what are the options for the alignment. So to do that, we put the two architectures side by side and started to compare. So both architecture actually tries to solve the same problem. We have the disaggregated access nodes, OLTs, of course, with different interfaces. There are adapters here. VOLTHA has the OLT adapter, OLT adapter to communicate with the OLTs. And on the BA level of the BBF architecture, we have the VOLTMF and vendor adapter. Standard adapter. So both architectures defines the virtual OMCI. In BA, it is VOMCI. In VOLTHA, it is OpenONU adapter. VOLTHA project in its architecture, it also has these control plane applications, right? The same type of control applications also in this architecture, BBF architecture. So the one of the difference between the two architecture is this Access SDN MLC. Functionalities of this Access SDN MLC is actually scattered through different applications in VOLTHA architecture, but they both have same, not the same, but they provide a kind of northbound APIs to the northbound systems. So, with the help of this side-by-side architecture comparison, we tried to decide actually what could be our integration points. So we identified two. One of the integration point could be this northbound interface, which is covered by TR411. I think also the issue 2 activities has just started with this 411. So it would be a good start for collaboration. And also on the northbound of the access side, both architecture have kinds of vendor adapters. So in VOLTHA architecture, we can have this standard adapter in this level, and we also can have the alignment with the help of the adapters. And my last slide. So with the transition to Linux Foundation, we have a new website. So you can go to this link and you can join as a member freely. We have the references, documents on these links. You can go to these links and get the documentation. Also, you can download the project and you can have a running VOLTHA in your own environment. And for any questions, you can directly send an email to us, to Amit or me, or you can use our Slack channels. And thank you for listening. Oops.
We have some time for questions. So if there are any questions, Bruno, who happens to be the next speaker, are you coming up for a question? It looks like you are.
I have more a question related to if we we can reestablish the collaboration that we have in the past in the BBF ONF Tiger team, because I see that you are moving on aligning more the VOLTHA solution with the BBF standards, and could be a good opportunity to reestablish the BBF ONF Tiger team, collaboration Tiger team.
Yeah.
That's only my question.
Thank you.
Yeah, guilty as charged. So it's not like it's disappeared, but it's really been from a point of view of resourcing primarily on my side, I guess. But absolutely. So we need to restart that, you know.
Francis does our walk-up music too, but I haven't heard any walk-up music today. So I'm just, and again, you know, I come at this from an ignorant standpoint, but the first time I learned about it was in the Cloud CO 2022 demo. So I think that's, you know, kind of powerful, that Cloud CO demo implanted it in my brain, this project. But I'm curious, all the operators that were shown on there are relatively large operators. Will this concept scale to small operators as well? I mean, and if so, are there advantages for the smaller operator for this?
I think so, actually, because it's the solution actually it's an open source solution, and you can have different white box OLTs, which is proven to work. So if the small operators want to have those supports, I think it could be provided, I believe.
Okay, thank you. It looks like we have another.
Well, actually, on your point, if it would also scale for smaller ones, I think it's not that much of a question of how big or large the operator is. It's much more a question of how well the existing access topology that is in place is lending itself towards different deployment models that are currently supported. We at Deutsche Telekom, as we have been mentioned here, we are building our whole Access 4.0 project based on VOLTHA. We are currently trying to push a little bit the scalability towards our needs, because our topology is in that regard a little bit special, that we are trying to have a lot of customers and OLTs combined in a centralized VOLTHA instance. But that's kind of somewhat potentially special to our deployment. If you want to go for something where you don't need that many OLTs to be attached to one instance, I think you're much better in the game already with the existing kind of out in the open support.
Yeah.
But we are trying to also, you know, contribute to that whole thing in the way that we make it more diverse, so it can apply to many more topologies. And I just think it's not that much of a question of if you're a small or a large operator, because I mean, the nice thing about VOLTHA is it's open source, everyone can use it. Of course, you need to integrate it a little bit into your solutions, but also for that, there are several options out there by now. I think it really, you need to see how your topology and your approach of how you would like to deploy it is matching with what you have.
Thank you. Dean.
I'm very tempted to make comparisons between this and what I'm seeing in mobile with Open RAN. Do you think things like VOLTHA would benefit from some of the sort of more government and political impetus that's seen in the mobile sector?
I don't have an answer for that, actually.
I mean, because largely around vendor diversity. I mean, a lot of the Open RAN impetus come because of desire for vendor diversity, as well as sort of expectation of, you know, the potential for sort of local vendors for export opportunities and things like that. Yeah, I get that an awful lot. What I see, you know, the governments in Europe, the UK government, US have been really pushing Open RAN. I don't see anyone talk about disaggregated fixed broadband.
Yeah, it's if I may, you're right. I think in a way that's because Open RAN is new, and fixed has been around for quite a long time, basically. But speaking from the UK point of view here, there's enormous amount of investment from the UK government into Open RAN projects to bring innovation, to bring new companies to the UK, and it just isn't the same in the fixed. And I think that's as much as, you know, let's face it, you know, the mobile is sexy, but there are political issues that the governments see, in particular with mobile. How we get there is the question. You know, how could we motivate the governments to invest more is really the question we need to ask.
I've certainly been telling DCIT this in the UK, but we'll maybe discuss offline. There was one other question, which is anyone using VOLTHA for wholesale and open access? Or are these all aimed at integrated providers?
Yes. Okay, thank you.
This has been a great discussion, and I appreciate the comments from everyone, and I appreciate you coming here and enlightening us. So, Sir Kat, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.